The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
We are just Chad Pennington days away from the start of the New York Jets season, and former Jet star and current ESPN analyst says Aaron Rodgers is being disrespected. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
There goes my hero.
Oh,
As he goes.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are almost there, just 10 days away from the start of the Jet season. At this time next week, one NFL game will officially be in the books. We'll have another one in Brazil between the Eagles and the Packers a week from tonight. So full slate of college football this weekend, and then the NFL starts up next week. Jets, of course, a little while longer to wait than most teams as they will play on Monday Night Football. By now, you know, but in case you're still living under a rock, we're throwing the biggest watch party in the tri-state area for week one of the Jet season. T-Squared Social, located in Midtown Manhattan. RSVP, if you're coming out, it is free to attend. The link to RSVP is in the description for this video. I will see 300, 400, maybe 500 of you at T-Squared Social to watch the Jets start 1-0, baby, against the San Francisco 49ers. All right, let's talk about the latest with the New York Jets. I found these comments from Damien to be enlightening, and I find them to be completely factual. It's almost like Damien was watching the Jake Asman Show, because he gave a stat on ESPN radio the other day to Mike Greenberg that I have been talking about on the show for 2 years, since the Jets made the Aaron Rodgers trade. Here's Damien with Greeny.
It just seems like people are not giving Aaron Rodgers his due respect. I'm just speaking strictly on the field. Aaron Rodgers is 81-10 when his team, when the defense holds the opponent to 20 points or less. 81-10 throughout his whole career. That that tells you everything you need to know, to me, in my opinion, about how well, all-time great in Aaron Rodgers. And when he has a defense backing him up, remember, this Jets defense is going to be the best defense that Aaron Rodgers has ever played with, okay? They're going to hold people down week in and week out. That's been the one thing that's been missing with this Jets, has been atrocious quarterback play. The defense has always held them down. Can you imagine the Jets playing, this Jets defense playing with a lead?
Yes.
With an all-time great at quarterback. I'm just saying, Aaron Rodgers being back and healthy with the Jets is a big effing deal.
No question about it. 81-10 is the stat for his career. And actually, that came from Darius, our researcher. You brought the stat in.
Yes.
He confirmed it. And then he actually sent me a note saying, if you only go back to 2016, so whatever that is, the last 9 years, that number becomes 35-2. Aaron Rodgers is 35-2 when the defense holds the opposition under 20 points. Last year, with the worst offense in history, the Jets defense allowed an average of 20.9 points per game. So, I mean, they're right there with basically no help at all.
Yeah. And if you take the sample size over 2 years, the Jet defense actually is under 20 points per game allowed. Because, in 2022, they actually had slightly better quarterback play, believe it or not, because you had the Flacco game mixed in against the Browns. You had the Mike White game mixed in against the Bears. Last year, you really had nothing. You had like 2 quarters against the Chiefs from Zach. The second half of the Houston game, that was really it as far as, an offensive explosion, if you will. It was a joke. But once again, I'm with Damien Woody. And there's so many people out there, and it's not just Aaron Rodgers, but it's the Jets in general, right? They get no respect. And I get it. They haven't won. They have the longest playoff drought. It's the Jets. But the way the Jets are discussed by some, it's as if they're the Carolina Panthers. It's as if they're the Browns or the Lions during all their years of failure. And by the way, things turned around for those teams. Certainly the Lions. They went from 8-9 to 12 wins last year. Remember, they made their statement on opening night against the Chiefs on ring night and spoiled it in KC. Look what they did, going all the way to an NFC title game, a game they should have won, if we're being honest, against the team the Jets play to open the season. Let's call it for what it is, though, folks. People aren't giving the Jets their respect for 2 reasons. One, it's easy to pick on the Jets. Because over the last 15 years, if you bet against the Jets, you're probably going to be right more times than not, given the history. And people don't like Aaron Rodgers for things that have nothing to do with football. And it's so funny. We do say, like, oh, people don't like Aaron's, like, political opinions. He's really not that much of a political guy. It comes back to one thing. He was anti-vaccine. And the people in the media, many of who skew on the side that is pro-vaccine or did skew pro-vaccine, have never let Rodgers up from that, which is ridiculous. And it's fascinating learning more and more about all that, reading Ian O'Connor's book. That, by the way, congrats to Ian. It's officially a New York Times bestseller. We had him on earlier in the week, so check that out, Jet fans, if you missed it. But Damien Woody's 100% right. And the stat that Greeny followed up with after Damien probably watched the show and heard the 81-10 stat that I've been saying for 2 years. If you go back to 2016, that number is 35-2 when Aaron Rodgers is on a team where the defense allows less than 20 points. You kidding? Even without Hassan Reddick, the Jets defense is going to be dominant in a lot of games. We saw it last year where they had no help from the offense. So people are just completely disrespecting, like, Rodgers' ability to just be competent. Like, this team won 7 games with a traffic cone at the quarterback spot. Seriously. It was one of the worst quarterbacked seasons ever. I believe the Jets had 11 total passing touchdowns. 11. Between 3 quarterbacks who started games. 11. You got to go back years from the last time the Jets even had a quarterback that threw more than 10 touchdowns in a season. That's how bad it's been. So if Aaron Rodgers is not MVP Aaron Rodgers, that doesn't mean the Jets aren't still going to be a damn good football team. If Aaron Rodgers is not top 8 in the league, that doesn't mean the Jets can't still be a double-digit win football team. That's the difference here. The disrespect is crazy. And I don't think there's Jet fans, the vast majority of Jet fans, who are saying, Super Bowl, baby, we're going to win it all. Guaranteed. I think most of us look at it like, look, we need things to go right. We saw how quickly it can all go wrong last year. But if Aaron's upright with some other things that go the Jets' way for once, they're going to be in the mix. They got a shot. And that's all you could hope for, given how bad they have been for so long. This is only the second time since the playoff drought started that I think you go into the year, and if I say, hey, what's the best case scenario for the Jets, you could actually say Super Bowl, and it's not crazy. You couldn't say that any year Sam Darnold was the quarterback, any year Zach was the quarterback. Post 2011, when it started to fall apart, you couldn't say at the end of the Rex era in 2012 or 13 or 14 that the best case was Super Bowl. You couldn't. 15 came out of nowhere and they choked despite being 10-6. But this is truly a season where you go into it if you're a Jet fan and the ceiling is the Super Bowl. Like, what's the best case scenario for the team? The best case scenario for the team is winning the whole thing. And we have not been able to say that about a Jet team in a very, very long time. That matters. And the thing with Aaron Rodgers that I don't think gets discussed enough about is this guy has been incredibly durable in his career. So, yeah, he's up there in age. We understand that. But the guy knows how to protect himself. He's tough as nails. He plays through things. He had missed one start because he had COVID since 2017 until last year. Like, this guy plays football, man. So, sure, he could get hurt, and last year could happen again. But more likely than not, he'll play 14 or 15 games, and then you have a legit backup who could go 1-1 or 2-1 with. And if that happens, and I hope he plays all 17, but if that happens, then you know what? This team should be very, very good because they're built the right way in the trenches. The D-line is incredible, and the offensive line should be significantly improved. You know, people talk about Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses, and we should. They're awesome. Just going from that stiff, nice guy, but a stiff Laken Tomlinson to John Simpson, who, if he's just average, that is one of the bigger upgrades they made this offseason. The biggest upgrade is obviously going from Zach Wilson to Aaron Rodgers or Tim Boyle to Tyrod Taylor. But if you're ranking like the upgrades, like the substantialness of that, I think that's a word, the substantialness of the upgrades the Jets made, you could make a strong case that going from Laken Tomlinson to even John Simpson is one of their bigger upgrades they made. The obvious ones are the ones I said already. Quarterback, offensive tackle. But that's a huge upgrade too. Mike Williams being out there as the number 2 is a substantial upgrade over the number 2 they had at the beginning of last year in Allen Lazard. Think about that. And this team won 7 games last year, and they get talked about by some as if like they're just the biggest joke. Like, there's no talent on this team. You find me a team that has the amount of Pro Bowl and all pro level players that the Jets do across their roster. There's very few, if any, if you think about it, especially if Aaron's closer to what he was a couple of years ago. If he's just a top 10 quarterback. Find me the team that has a top 10 quarterback, a top 5 running back, maybe a top 5 receiver, certainly in the top 10, a top 25 receiver in Mike Williams. This is just the offense. Top 15 tight end. Because, by the way, people, that's where Conklin is. Last 2 years, he's top 10 in both yards and catches with nothing. Now he'll find the end zone more this year, and people will be like, wow, he's pretty good. Yeah, because we watch the games. Dare I say a top 5 offensive line? I mean, let's say there's some injuries. They still should be in the top 15, which is all you need with Aaron Rodgers and Breece Hall. Just be above average. Be close to average or slightly above. That's just the offense. And then we go through the defense. This might be the best defense in the league if they get Hassan Reddick back, which I believe they will next week. But even if they don't, find me the defense that has an all-pro defensive tackle, a Pro Bowl edge rusher, which they do in Jermaine Johnson, a first-team all-pro linebacker, which they do in Quincy Williams. We're 2 years removed from C.J. Mosley being second-team all-pro. He's still playing like a Pro Bowl-level player. The best cornerback in football on Sauce, one of the best number 2 corners in the league in DJ Reed, and arguably the best nickel in Michael Carter. Find me the team that has that level of talent. You can't. So I just don't want to hear it. Jets getting talked about like they won 4 games last year. They won 7 with nothing. They should have won more. If they just had bad level quarterback play, I could find you 3 more wins. Unfortunately, I was at some of them. When you go back to that first Patriot game, oh my God. Or the Raider game. Or the Falcon game. They started Simeon that day. They probably win. He came in too late. We actually had to watch Tim Boyle for 2 weeks. They could have won that first Dolphins game. The final score makes it look like the Jets got mollywomped. It was 10-6. It should have been 10-7. They missed the PAT. And then Tim Boyle gave us a classic same old Jet moment, the Fail Mary, right into Robert Saleh brushing his teeth. What a moment that was. Like, we went through hell and back last year, and it has to end now. I can't do it. If you're watching, you can't do it. None of us could do it. It's time to win, man. But Damien Woody's 1,000% right. People are not giving Aaron Rodgers his respect. And here's what the greats could do. And we saw this in Peyton Manning's last year, where people obviously saw his physical limitations at that point. If Aaron Rodgers goes out there, and let's say he has lost a little bit, which, okay, his mind still works, right? We know his arm is still unreal, so I really don't think he's lost anything physically. And maybe he's not as fast as he once was, but he will kill you in the pocket. But let's say he has lost a little bit. You know what he could do? He could win games by just being smarter than you. And that's what Peyton did his last year. Rely on your defense. Rely on your running game. Elway did the same thing with Terrell Davis. Breece Hall is this team's Terrell Davis. Breece Hall is to Aaron Rodgers what Terrell Davis was to John Elway, his last 2 Super Bowl wins. Aaron can game manage, and people look at game manage like that's a slight. No. Want to know why Aaron is so good when his defense allows 20 points or less? Want to know why Aaron Rodgers has the best touchdown to interception ratio in the history of the sport? Want to know why? Because he's smarter than everyone. He knows how to take care of the ball. He knows how to rely on a running game when he's had it. He knows how to rely on a defense when he's had it. The only time this guy's won a championship was the one time he had a top 5 defense in his career. And Damien Woody's right. Aaron Rodgers has never played with a defense, in theory, this good. If the Jet defense is close to what they've been the last 2 years, which, barring injuries, which obviously change everything, we understand that, but assuming what we've seen the last 2 years, this could very well be and should be the best defense that Aaron Rodgers in 20 years in the NFL has ever played with. Think about that. That matters. So once again, find me the team that has what the Jets have. Health being the biggest question, I get it. We could say that about every team. We really could. So I'm ready, man. 10 days from now, bring on the Niners. And you know what? I saw they got Ayuk signed. I expected it the whole time. The real question is what happens with Trent Williams and does CMC play? Ayuk is an awesome player, but we've seen the Jets have the horses to slow down top receivers. Brandon Ayuk, you're about to be lost in the sauce, baby. And they better let Sauce travel if Ayuk starts torching them at any point in this game. That needs to be adjusted right away by Ulbrich and Saleh. And they've implied they will. Sauce has alluded to it, so we shall see. We're going to open up the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. Comments, questions, super chats will always cut the line on the show. We are seeking more channel members. And I'll tell you why. Because every Friday, starting next week, will be Fireman Ed Fridays on the show. So the Fireman Ed Edgemo, as Keith Best would say, the Fireman Ed emoji made by Joe Mike is ready to roll if we get another 25 channel members. So we will work on that over the course of this show and our next show later this afternoon. Before we get into some of your calls, we have a brand new sponsor on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pumped up about this one, folks. They sent me a whole box right here. You ready for this? This is VIIA. All right. VIIA is I never thought I'd be a gummy guy, but it is a hemp gummy company, right? And they sent me all these different kinds of gummies here. And some of you, I know, you've expressed you're big gummy guys here. It's legal in all 50 states. They can send it to you discreetly. They have a bunch of different flavors, right? They have the TH-free Zen, which helps you sleep. They have the High Love, which, if you know Boy Green, I think that might be something he might be into after yesterday's show. But anyway, they sent me a whole bunch of different gummies to try, and I've been experimenting with them. VIIA is awesome. I first heard about them because I'm a UFC fan. I heard Nate Diaz, big UFC fighter, talk about how he was using gummies to basically help with his recovery, help with inflammation in his body. So he said that these cannabis gummies were helping him. So I was like, that's interesting. I've heard other athletes talk about it as well. So their products, right? They range in anything from 0 mg to 100 mg. Industry leader. They're made right here in the U.S., which is pretty cool. Award-winning service. They sent me this like on a Tuesday, and I got it by a Friday. So it's incredible. And once again, just the as my boxes just fell right there. They have a bunch of just different gummies for you to try, essentially, based on what mood you want. So it's really cool. It's an awesome product. You can unlock the power of VIIA and use my promo code. They're going to give you 15% off as well. So it's promo code Asman for 15% off. Once again, made right here in the U.S. It's affordable. It's accessible. They're going to give you a discount. I've been experimenting with a bunch of gummies here. So check it out. Once again, they can ship it to you discreetly. It's legal in all 50 U.S. states. So shout out to VIIA for coming on board, and I'll keep you guys posted here because, once again, I got like 20 different flavors and stuff to try out here. So shout out to VIIA for being a part of our show. And once again, you can check out the website. It is linked in the description. To get you to the website, use my link. Check the pinned comment. It will be there as well. And you can use promo code Asman for 15% off. This one's called Cloud9. I plan on enjoying a little Cloud9 VIIA gummies after the Jets hopefully win week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers. So once again, shout out to VIIA, promo code Asman for 15% off. Link in the description or check the pinned comment right down below. All right, let's open up The Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline, comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we started off with a super chat from Valen who says, Jake bringing the content all day, every day. Let's effing go. If you're not subbed, you're wrong and you need to fix yourself. Valen, I appreciate you, man. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. A lot of people maybe are new to the channel. You heard about this YouTube thing. It's easy to support. You hit subscribe, you hit the like button, and boom, you're good to go. Vincent with a super chat. His question wasn't attached. It's right here, though. Do we still need Connor McGovern? I'll say this. If they brought him in, you're not going to hear any complaints from me. I think the fact that they had not brought him in, I think tells you a lot. I think they feel like he's either not what he once was, or they truly do think the depth they have currently is good enough to replace him. So that might be the key here. Anyway, we will see. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Appreciate everyone tuned in. Let's open up that Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline right now. We go to Phil, who's first up today. What's up, Phil?
Oh, what up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, Phil. What's going on?
Not much. Again, thank you for the birthday shout out. That video.
My pleasure, man.
I gotta get my fiance on, and Jet's here chilling with me, sleeping.
Love that.
So I just want to touch on real quick Aaron Rodgers and the seasons past and everything. So I look at it this way: it's like people are worried. Do we get the past iteration of him MVP seasons? Are we getting Super Bowl seasons? So let's just put it into perspective. PFR, Pro Football Reference. That season in 2010 was a 10-6 season. They won a Super Bowl. So you're telling me last year 10-7, 11-6 probably get us to the Super Bowl, maybe, right? It's a different time era, but just looking at the points for that team, he was only 10th in scoring, and their defense was second in points against. So it wasn't the best defense, but it was second to none at that time. So what I think in my mind is Garrett Wilson is his Devontae Adams, which is the MVP seasons. Then you take the defense from his 2010 team when he won a Super Bowl, which was second in points, which we are basically there. You're combining two eras, a great defense he's never seen before, and then the second coming of like a Devontae Adams mixed in with his other, players across the field sprinkled in, and with a running back he's never had before ever in his career. It's like, it's not to say like we're destined to do it, but if this isn't like the writing's on the damn wall, the writing's on the wall. You're getting into the playoffs without a doubt.
They had to, man. It's just
it's simple.
This team is too good to not be a playoff team. You'd have to go a long time to find a team, I think, this talented that didn't make the
100%.
playoffs. That unless they lost their Hall of Fame quarterback on the fourth player of the season again or something like that. And this team is better than the team they put on the field last year. Despite all their issues around Rodgers, right? The O-line being in shambles, they still win 10 games if Aaron's out there. They don't go to the Super Bowl probably, but they're at least in the playoffs. They're at least a wild card team.
I mean, Aaron won. Like, another thing, again, just reading those stats, being 10th in scoring, they weren't first in scoring. They weren't the Chiefs when they won it back in the day. He is the most precise quarterback that has ever played football. That's where we're at, that people don't understand. His precision. It's like next to Tom Brady's precision. Damn, I say his name. But that's the truth. He is the most precise quarterback. That season, he went like 31-10 or 31-15 in touchdown to interception ratio or something. So to me, it's like he's going to put the ball in places where it needs to be. We're talking about those slant routes instead of it getting winged over to a defender. It's put right in a pocket where only you're going to catch it. Those are those first downs that we need. These are the trickle down of that plays that count in the fourth quarter when you're closing a game out and you're up by 10 points and you're not struggling. An interception is going to happen or a fumble. It's going to happen. I mean, 11-7 easily. I feel like 12-5, honestly. And
12-5 is my pick right now, Phil.
Yeah.
I think you look at the talent level. I just think this has got to be the year it all comes together. It has to. The bare minimum, someone asked me, I don't know if it was on this show or a guest appearance I did. Someone asked me, like, what's the Jets' floor? And I said 10. It should be 10. They won 7 last year with the worst quarterback situation in the NFL by far. By far. I mean, some of the stats I could give you, it's just insane how bad they were. Honestly. It's insane. The Jets had as many lost fumbles last year as they had offensive touchdowns. They scored a league low 18 offensive touchdowns last year. 18. They could have 18 by the bye. They should have maybe more than that. 18 offensive touchdowns. You know how hard that is to do when you have a superstar running back and superstar receiver? Oh my God, it's like historically bad, man. There's 17 games in a season, people. They scored 18 total touchdowns all year. I went to 2 games in a row. They didn't score a touchdown. Like, it was so bad. If they just score 2 touchdowns a game, and they'll score more than that, they'll be at 34. Let's say they score 3 touchdowns a game, which I think is realistic on average. They'll score 51. And this team won 7 games last year. Crazy. Hit the like button if you like the idea of the Jets actually scoring points. There's 410 of you watching the show right now. I want to let everyone know that the Jake Asman merch store has a very special item, I should say, that we added. For those of you who saw the Bobby Midnight Nick Shine program last night, the Bobby Midnight birthday stream, in honor of Bobby's birthday, Bobby turned 56 yesterday. We have re-added the Bobby Midnight specialty t-shirt to the merch store at jakeasman.com. If you're new to the show and you don't know the t-shirt, folks, get ready because it is magical. The Bobby Midnight 2024 t-shirt is back up in the shop for 56 hours in honor of Bobby's 56th birthday. We also added a specialty Bobby Midnight coffee mug, which I ordered one immediately last night. So if you want your Bobby Midnight collectible coffee mug, it is in the store for 56 hours. I got to do the math. I don't know when it ends, but you have today and tomorrow at least for sure. So check it out. Bobby Midnight coffee mug. They come in 3 different sizes. We have the 11 ounce, the 15 ounce, which is like the standard cup of coffee. I recommend that one. And then you have the 20 ounce for big time coffee drinkers. So check it out. Bobby Midnight merch back up in the store to celebrate Bobby's birthday. If you're a Patreon member, use the code that you get with your membership and you will save 15% on each of those items. Comments, questions, super chats. Let's get back into your calls right now. We say what up to Neil. Hello, Neil.
Jake, how are you?
Neil, what's going on?
I got to give a happy belated to Bobby to start. Second, I'm happy to see that I'm not alone in my 20-0 prediction. One of the most respected people that I know that wears the green and white with loyalty is a guy you're going to have on regularly called Fireman Ed. I listened to Fireman Ed the other day, and he is predicting, as I have since February, if I recall, when nobody was picking the Jets, and you guys laughed at me when I said this was a Super Bowl team at 20-0, and I stick 100% wholeheartedly to that prediction. Now, the biggest thing about the 49er game is going to be Trent Williams, because their record without Trent Williams is not good. And as we know, football games are won in the trenches. And I like our little rodents. I call them the little rodents, the little rookies that are going to be coming in waves, nice and fresh, to the backup of Trent Williams. I don't know who that guy is, but he better bring his lunch pail and be ready for power rushes, McDonald doing his little dance around, his little sweep and turn. They're going to be ready. And if we get a lead in this game, Brock Purdy is dead meat on a stick. Okay? That's where we're going to be. And it's all going to be happening on Monday night at T-Squared. Get your big boy pants on, everybody, and get your ass over to T-Squared if you're a real fan. I don't want to hear, oh, maybe I can make it. I don't know. My wife might not let me. Listen, I have a ways to go. This is going to be the start of a special season, and we all have to be ready. It's simple as that. Jake?
Neil, from your lips to God's ears. But I will tell you this. You leading the charge at T Squared, the Jets will feel the energy from Midtown Manhattan all the way to the Bay Area.
Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener? He's going to die. Let's go. Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Let's be honest. Neil was ready for this game back in June when that Long Island party I hosted happened. I mean, come on now. Unreal. Unreal. Hit the like button for Neil. Hit the Neil emoji for our guy Neil as well. So Neil brought up Fireman Ed. We're trying to get the Fireman Ed emoji in the rotation. I want to get a channel emoji for each of our weekly guests. That's the goal throughout the season. If you missed the announcements, I've been teasing it and saying it on the show the last couple of days. I'll say it again now for those who maybe have been away. Every Monday at 10 a.m., we will be joined by my friend, the great Joe Beningo. Joe B, ladies and gentlemen. Bro, all the love. Joe, Mondays, 10 a.m. Fast forward to Monday afternoons at 4 p.m. These are all Eastern Standard Times, by the way. Duh. Will Parkinson is back for a weekly Monday hit with us. Tuesdays, Robbie Sabo in the morning, Andrew Fialco in the afternoon, 10 a.m. and roughly around 4 p.m. for those start times. Fast forward to Wednesdays. Wednesdays with Jeff Parles. He'll join us every Wednesday afternoon around 4 Eastern. Thursday morning, Nick Faria back for a second year in a row, Jets beat reporter for Athlon Sports. Nick's our Jet insider on this channel, and he will be on with us once again every Thursday morning. Fast forward to Friday. You heard me say it to Neil there. Fireman Ed Fridays, baby. Ed joining us every single Friday throughout the Jet season. And then Friday afternoons, the guy who came on with us yesterday, Boy Green, a guy who's going to lose his gosh darn bananas with us. He'll join us on Friday afternoons. We will have a post-game show after every Jets game. Those times, obviously, subject to change based on the Jets schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. We are almost there. We are 10 days away, and it's going to be wild. More of your calls right now. V8 the Great is up next. What's up, V8?
What's up, Jake? You know, man, I've been trying to say it. We ain't been getting our respect. You got people like Shady McCoy who, you know, he kind of mooched off 2 Super Bowls. He didn't play. You got people like Chris Canty, Joy Taylor, who I love, and you got Colin, and then you have Nick Wright, and you just really got people that were on Aaron Rodgers' side not too long ago, and all because of a shot. He's no good. He just came off a torn Achilles. Are we just going to forget he won 4 MVPs, a Super Bowl MVP, and a Super Bowl? Like Jason Lockenford, for example.
Well, that guy's the worst of all the names you mentioned.
I don't know if you remember, but his first year starting, he predicted Aaron Rodgers was going to win the Super Bowl. That's when I first started getting into football. But, yeah, Jake, I can't wait till week 1, especially if we win. There's no telling what the headlines are going to be. Oh, they got to do it again. And then if we keep doing it and we keep doing it, then it's like, you know, what did Aaron Rodgers say? RELAX. Relax.
That's right. V8, are you a Bama alum?
No, it's just I fell in love with Alabama. So don't tell my school that. So, you know, I'm rocking with Quinn Williams. They're doing a rep your college shirt day or something like that. But yeah, I'm Alabama. Roll Tide.
Q. There you go.
Roll Tide. But Jake, you have a great day. Go Jets.
V8, I appreciate you. Roll Tide, baby. Joe Namath. The guy who got us our only championship, the pride of Bama. Nick Saban's a Yankee fan, too, so I've always had no ill will towards Bama. Ryan wants to know, how do you feel about Mike Williams potentially playing week 1? No concerns. I don't think he'll play every snap. I think they'll be smart with it, but this guy's going to be a huge difference maker. I think it's almost under-discussed, his presence. You know, there's been so much talk this summer, and rightfully so. He's had an amazing camp, and we know the talent's there, about Garrett Wilson and what he could do. If Mike Williams is out there, man, what he could do could be big time for this offense. Mike Williams is as good as any receiver in the sport on 50-50 balls. Tyrod Taylor made the comment they're more like 80-20 balls when you throw to Mike Williams. You know who's amazing at throwing those 50-50 balls to the right back shoulder, especially in the red zone? Aaron Rodgers. I think he's the best to ever throw the back shoulder throw. So he's going to have an impact. He really is. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Best is without an emoji right now. He has no badge next to his name. So here's what we're going to do. If you're the listener who gifts Keith Best his channel membership, I will send you a coffee mug of your choice from the merch store. If you want the Bobby mug, I'll send it to you. If you want the Jake Asman Show mug, I'll send it to you. If you really don't want a mug and you want something else, if you're the person who gifts Keith Best, we'll send it to you anyway. All right? We'll send you something good. Hit the like button. More calls right now. Let's go to Kyle Clifton, who's up next. What's up, Kyle?
What's going on, Jake? So I'm trying to think about what could go wrong to derail this season, right? Maybe the wheels falling off Tyron and Morgan Moses. Maybe, overnight Rodgers morphs into, this year's version of Matt Ryan. Maybe, you have AVT doesn't bounce back to his pre-injury form. There are some things specifically on the offense that could go wrong that may make us not reach our potential. From the defensive side of the ball, I don't have those types of concerns, especially if Reddick comes into camp. We should have enough pass rush with McDonald and Reddick if he stays healthy and has got his mind right, and JJ. Obviously, I think that the secondary with Chuck Clark will be improved. I think our depth is excellent across the line. It's just that the mental aspect of our quarterback play, if we can keep this guy upright, is going to keep us in every game. And you're right. It's a playoff spot. It's double-digit wins. And if we can get in the tournament, let's see if we can do some damage. That's all I have.
That's it, right? Be as healthy as possible come playoff time. Hopefully win the division so you're getting a home playoff game to start things off. And maybe they're better than that, and maybe they have home field through the playoffs. What a concept.
No, I love our depth, and I think that we can do a lot of good things this year. I'm very excited.
Kyle, me too, man. Me too. Appreciate you. Super chat from Neil. He's making demands. He says, Jake, I demand you to take those gummies to stay calm for the opener at T-Squared. Well, let me go through my options I have right here. I could take High Love, Neil. And once again, shout out to VIIA for sponsoring today's program. I could take this one. I could take the Cloud 9 gummies. I could take the Flow State gummies. Or I could take the Zen gummies. Now, Zen, there's like sleeping stuff on here. This is going to put me to sleep. We can't do that one. I got some more options, though. Hold on. Once again, you guys could use my promo code for this and get everything discounted. They're going to give you 15% off. Link is in the description. And will be the pinned comment. Let's see. Other options for you, Neil. The Focus one. I'm already going to be focused, so we'll be good there. I think we found it. The Relief gummy. Might need that one. So the heart's going to be racing. We also have the Dreams gummy. Maybe I'll take this the night before for sweet dreams of Jet victories. I think we found the one I need, though. The Revive one. Neil was with me for the opener last year. My Apple Watch went off 30 minutes before kickoff that I had an irregular heart rate. We weren't moving. We were standing in line to go in. So it was crazy. Anyway, try VIIA. Use code Asman, 15% off. Shout out to VIIA for jumping on board and sponsoring this video. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I have open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. So click that Gusbuster hotline link and join the show. Reminder, we added the Bobby Midnight merch to jakeasman.com again to celebrate Bob's birthday. So check that out. Once again, jakeasman.com/shop to get your Asmaniac or Jake Asman Show merch today. Uncle Rico writes in, Brownlee cleared waivers. Nobody was interested. He can now sign with any team. We'll see if the Jets bring him back. I think he wants to stay a Jet, but he also wants to be on a 53 somewhere. And no one claimed him. So we shall see. We shall see. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 memberships have been gifted for the first time today. Channel memberships are absolutely, unequivocally flowing.
Money, 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 money.
Marvelous 33 is gifted 5 to Ryan Byrne, Ohio Jet fan, Miles Hickson, Mickey Rosas, and King Lowski. That's a big time name there. Love that. Still nothing for Keith Best, though. You get for Keith Best, you get something in the merch store. Carlos Reyes writes in, we need to worry about winning our divisional games first and foremost. Agreed. I think the Jets need to go, if they're going to win the AFC East, which I'm predicting them to do, I believe the New York Jets have to go 4-2 in division. They have to sweep New England, and they have to, at the bare minimum, split Buffalo, split Miami. Obviously, you'd like to win every division game, but that might not be realistic. It's always tough to win division games. The Jets with Zach Wilson have been able to win against the team that's won the division 4 years in a row, the last 2. So it's not always the easiest thing. So I think you'd sign right now for 4-2 in division. And assuming you take care of the other games in your schedule that you're better than, I think there's a path to 12 wins and being division champs. That's how I look at it. Maybe more. But I think you start with, can you go 4-2 in the division? And can you win the gimme games that you have on the schedule? And you might be saying, well, it's the NFL. There's no such thing as a gimme game. Yeah, that's true. But, you know, when you play Sam Darnold in London against a rebuilding Vikings team, that to me is a game you got to win, right? When you go out there and you play Denver Broncos, who have to travel cross country and come to your building with a rookie at quarterback, that's a gimme game you got to win. When you play New England in your home opener at home with either a rookie or a journeyman at quarterback, that's a game you got to win. So nothing will be easy, and I'm sure the Jets will have a loss or two this year that is head-scratching, and we go, how the heck did they lose that one? But for the most part, if this team is as good as we think they are, they should be able to go out there and capture this division. Ladies and gentlemen, we're capturing 10 memberships right now. Rob Basil stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, I got you, folks. Let's go. Yeah! Baby, yeah.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
Here we go. Jay Perez, Andres 1K, Yer, Richard Todd, Christian A, Jimmy Jets, Nicholas Gonzalez, Al DeMarco Sr., V8 the Great, who called the show just before, C. Gamara. You guys are all channel members. Let's go. Let's go. Simple enough. Neil says, Cloud 9 after the win. That's where we will be. Cloud 9 with Neil. Is there anything quite like it? Genergy says, can't gift memberships on the iPhone. Whack. I know. It's so annoying. They really got to fix that if you're YouTube. Mr. Tube, get on that. You're costing yourself revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with your calls right now. We say hello to Mr. J Biz. What's up, J Biz?
Hey, what's going on, Jake? So hard to catch you live. I'm out here on the West Coast. Last time I called, I was laying up in the hospital January 4th. Found out I had cancer after 6.5 months of chemo, radiation, and steroids. It's beautiful to say that I'm in remission, man.
Wow,
it's a beautiful thing. I want to give a shout out to Keith, man. Keep fighting. It's a beautiful thing that you're doing the GoFundMe. I wish I can help out. My bills are incredible. It's over $200K. It's from January alone, so I can only imagine what he's going through. And I had decent insurance, but I really appreciate you, man. The well wishes that you guys did, and everything you've done so far with the off season. I've been watching, even though I haven't caught you live. So it really kept me going. You've been doing a beautiful job, bro.
Mr. J Biz, I'm so happy to hear that news that you're with us. You're a part of the show. I'm glad you could call back in, man. I mean, that's inspiring, man. Thank you so much for your support. We're so happy that you're with us, man, that you get to be a part of this. That's amazing news.
Yeah, man. I mean, now on the Jets side, I've been the most pessimistic Jets fan. Last year I called at this time and I didn't believe it, man. I didn't believe it. Even after we got Rodgers, I knew something was going to go wrong, and I was right. But this time, bro, I feel it.
Wow, you
I don't know
believe it?
why.
It's
I mean,
meant to
after
be.
everything I've been through, I feel it. I feel it so much. I'm gonna find a way to go to the first game because I'm only 40 minutes from San Francisco Stadium.
Wow.
So I'm doing everything I can to make sure I go to this game and go Jets, brother.
J-Biz, that's awesome, man. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to end up going to the Niner game, if you're on my Patreon or get on the Discord, if you join the Patreon, and we can connect you with some other Asmaniacs who are going out there so you have a place to tailgate and hang out before the game.
Cool. Sounds good, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Thanks for calling. That's great news about his diagnosis there. Oh, that's incredible. Shout out to you, J-Biz. That's an awesome call. Love that. That's what it's all about. Hit the like button for Mr. J-Biz. Spiro K just became an official Asmaniac. Thanks for signing up, Spiro. We appreciate you for doing that. Let's get back into your phone calls right now. And we say hello to a guy who now has, at least until Gator works his magic, he has an intro that I'll play.
Jets! Let's go!
Yeah!
Might as well start that way.
I love it.
Jake, you were right. Half on the apps after 10 p.m.
Oh.
You were correct. I saw it there. Big sign. I should have taken a picture and just sent it to you for kicks and giggles like there. You know, I was going to send it to you.
So how was the date then? Was it successful at Applebee's?
Yeah, it was good. We had a really, really, really good time. I kind of sent you a picture for your eyes only. But yeah, we had a really, really good time. She's good people. I've known her for years. We worked together for a long time. But my call today, Jake, is more about obviously Aaron Rodgers. And the more I was thinking about it, Jake, was this. Now, it sucked that we lost him after 4 plays last year, right? But here's the thing, Jake. We knew, and it had nothing to do with the turf, we knew that Achilles, in hindsight now, we knew that Achilles was going to pop. So either it popping after 4 plays, which sucked, or after 2 games, 3 games, or in the midst of the season. That was happening. And kind of like what you said, Jake, roster-wise, it's night and day between what we had last year and this year. We highly improved. We can look at it right now and say, if we had Aaron Rodgers for the full year last year without any injury, chances are I don't think we would have went all the way with the roster that we had. It was a little too thin. Let's be honest here. We would have made some noise. We would have made the playoffs, no doubt about it. But you know what? That Achilles had to happen no matter what. That sucked, but it had to happen. I guess in hindsight, it was better that it happened earlier than later because now we have Aaron. Looks like he's 100% good to go. His arm looks great. Obviously, unlike dunderheads who question his IQ, he's an extremely intelligent guy. And his mobility still looks pretty good. All right, you're right. He's not what he was maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. So what? He makes up for it with intelligence because he's an extremely smart guy. So now we have him with an improved roster, a much better offensive line. I can say it without even them playing a game so far. I seriously doubt that this line is worse than last year. And then the depth that we have, Jake, and now we have depth in running backs. We added Mike Williams. We added, even though we don't have Hassan yet, which I think ultimately he'll come, even if any of these UDIs come through, even if just one comes through, we're that much more better. I know we lost Huff, which I kind of wanted Huff, but this team is so much better than last year's projected team. This team has the talent, if Aaron Rodgers stays upright and healthy, to go all the freaking way, Neil. I'm on board, Neil. I'm on board, buddy. Here we go. J-E-T-S. Jets. 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 Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob from Glenhead. Now, Rob sent me a picture here of him at Applebee's with his date, and he said I couldn't show it on the show, so I will honor that. But I will say, Rob, I was going to ask you what you got at Applebee's. I wanted to hear what the order was. All right. You know what? Rob is still on. He's doing the Bobby. He's waving to get put back on. Rob, I'm coming back to you. I want to hear about the date. All right. Give us the breakdown. What can you share about the Applebee's dinner date?
Okay. I'm looking at myself waving like a fool. I had the Parmesan steak with shrimp on top. Have you ever had that, Jake?
No, I have not actually.
It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, let's. It's not Peter Luger's. We all know that. Laugh out loud. But it was a small little petite steak. It had a little bit of like Parmesan on top with little baby shrimp on top. It was tasty. I had it with string beans and mashed potatoes. She had some concoction, like a chicken bowl, and many of drinks, many Cosmos. So we had like a lot of drinks and stuff, and it was a good night. We had a good night.
Now, was there something before this, or the whole date was just the Applebee's night out?
Honestly, Jake, we were supposed to go see a movie, and when we got to the point of the theater, she had already seen the movie, and she didn't want to see it. So I said, you know what? Applebee's is right there. Let's just freaking go to Applebee's. I was like, and she was like, all right, all right. I go, we're going to drink so much that it's probably better off that we're seated somewhere and not driving around or falling asleep at the movie theater. I go, let's just stay there. So honestly, we just stayed there. We stayed there for like three hours. So it was good. We had a good time. It was really good.
That's fantastic. And let me ask you this. The chat is noticing something you said. I heard it as well. I believe you said laugh out loud. Like you actually said that.
Okay. Why? What's wrong with that?
Well, it's like LOL normally.
Okay. LOL. Sorry, guys. I guess I just spelled out the acronym. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, I love it.
But I mean, good time. She's good people. We had a really good time. And, you know, for a cheap place, Applebee's is fair. You know, it's not to Neil's standards. And usually it wouldn't be to my standards either. But Applebee's can suffice. It was okay.
Well, I'm glad you had a hell of a time. This picture you sent me is tremendous. It's too bad I can't put it on the show.
Yeah, I'd rather not. Because I don't know.
What if I blur her face out and it's just you? you just sitting at Applebee's, because this really is a great photo. Like,
it's gonna look. You don't think it's gonna look weird?
No. I'm just. What if I just zoom in on your face so then we can't even see the person you're with?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Yes.
All right.
You can do that, buddy.
I appreciate it, Rob. Great job. I'm laughing out loud at that one. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna do this on the fly here, folks. A little phone editing. Rob looks like he's like Michael Scott at like Chili's in this photo of him at Applebee's. Hold on, let me show this. All right, so I edited out the full photo so we can show this. Look at this guy. That's just tremendous. It doesn't get any better. Anyway, let's continue to do a sports show here. Ryan McCarthy writes in with a super chat. Greetings from Saratoga. I watched the Jake Asman show for Jets takes and Rob the Jet fans Applebee reviews. Levac and Gaz send their regards. Love those two. Have a great Labor Day weekend, Jets fans. Ryan, you're the man. I appreciate you tuning into the show from the capital region, from Saratoga. That's awesome. Levac and Gaz are good people, man. Talented radio folks. I enjoy going on with them. That's awesome. Are there big? There's got to be big horse races this weekend for Labor Day at Saratoga, right? I'd imagine it's a big weekend up there. Ladies and gentlemen, another super chat has just come in from the Fight or Flight podcast. Is there any way Gator can make a compilation of terrible Zach Wilson highlights, but as an actual traffic cone? It might be my favorite Asmanism. You know, that's an interesting request. Could he do it? I'm sure. Does Gator want to deal with more Zach Wilson highlights before he gets set to watch real quarterback play this year? Probably not. How about a compromise? I'll play this for you.
Stop. What's up, Jake?
You're embarrassing yourself.
Oh, shit.
Stop.
Let me ask you something, Asman. What do you think of Zach Wilson?
He stinks.
Thank God he's gone. He never scores no fucking touchdown.
He stinks.
The second pick for number 2 destroyed the Jets' cause.
He stinks.
Asmaniacs kick so much ass, but some of them, they kill the vibe and make the show a freaking mess. So Jake reminds them.
He stinks.
When Alan calls, he speaks the hate. That cartoon douche, he trashed the Jets. Let Bobby know, cause he's the man who will find him.
He stinks.
Another call comes from the car. Distorted voice and no Wi-Fi. That's JJ with a crap-ass phone. Just cut him off the call.
He stinks.
Is that gas station pizza? Come on, Gary.
He stinks.
Chicken don't go with pasta. Just get out of here, Jake.
The guy is terrible. Enough.
There you go. That's a fair compromise, right? Hit the like button. We got 380 of you watching right now. All right. Subscribe. There's no way all of you subscribe. Some of you are watching the show for free right now. Come on now. It's free to watch the show. It's also free to subscribe and help the show for doing nothing. Appreciate that. Also, the term Asmanism, I think, is hilarious. I would like to ask the chat right now, what are your favorite Asmanisms? I'll read the best ones from the chat. We'll continue with your calls right now. Reminder that all our calls today are brought to you by Gusbuster Umbrellas. Folks, support the family business and get yourself a brand new Gusbuster. Use promo code Jake at gusbuster.com for a 15% discount. It's the #1 umbrella on the PGA Tour, #1 umbrella on the Lib Tour. It's the best golf umbrella out there. It's the best overall umbrella out there. Different sizes, commuters. You can get a small one, get a big golf umbrella, a big one, the doorman, you name it, gusbuster.com. Promo code Jake for 15% off. Let's say hello to a guy who yesterday was naked along the streets of New York City to celebrate Bobby Midnight's birthday. This actually happened if you watched the stream last night, folks. We say hello to Nate, parentheses Nate. Hello, Nate.
It's true. And I made a couple bucks off it. Not proud to say so. That was fun. Shout out to Nick. Nick Shine did an awesome job with Bobby's birthday, produced the whole show. Had maybe 2 hours of guests from celebrities to naked people in Times Square. It was to Jake Asman. It was tremendous. Also shout out to J-Biz. I didn't know J-Biz's whole story, but that made my morning. I think all of us have probably been touched by someone that's had cancer or gone through death or remission or the good news. As my sister, when she was 10, we got to celebrate her remission. So like I said, I think everyone's been touched, and that was really great to hear. Keith Best, you are next. I guess there's not many Jets points. I wanted to also give a shout out to the WCA, the West Coast Avengers. I wasn't able to go to a Dodgers game, unfortunately. At the night I was planning on going, didn't work out. I went to the beach instead. Addison went to, it was 8:24 in LA. Addison went to a Dodgers game and got me a Kobe Bryant LA Lakers Dodgers jersey.
Wow.
Amazing. So when we met for the first time, got some really cool gear from Addison. Rick Kent, I think I might want to grow up and be Rick Kent when I'm older. Like he always says that he never wants to move back to New York with the weather, and like I had the same feeling when I was in LA, Jake. My sister lives a block off the beach. It was amazing. And shout out to Rick. Rick was my chauffeur. Picked me up, drove me downtown, dropped me back off at the play. Rick, I mean, as you know, Rick is an awesome guy, but it was nice to meet some of your community in person as you've brought us all together over the unfortunately over the Jets. I guess to get since we're on a football show.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're out there and you got a chance to hang out with everyone.
It was so stellar. Cool. I met with Addison multiple times. We were on the pier together. Addison's great. Rick is great. It was so much fun. And I'll be out there again. My nephew was just born, so probably holidays and all that. I will be seeing them. My extended Asmaniac family in California. We talk about Hassan Reddick all the time. Jake I guess he's just ruining his career if he wants to. I think you talked about this. Like he has no choice but to play. If he wants to sit out a year, he's in the same predicament next year with a year older. He would probably not even make 10 million if he decided to sit out this long, and he's going to be 31 years old. And to be honest, with Trent Williams out, it's kind of a wash. I'm excited to see Will McDonald, like, God forbid Will McDonald's get 2 sacks, and we all see Joe Douglas's face in the press box just smirking like, all right, Hassan, I'll see you Tuesday or whenever you want to
I'll
show
tell you
up.
what. I'll tell you what. Because I think Reddick shows up next week. I don't know if he's going to play, but say he either doesn't show up or he's not playing for whatever reason on Monday night. If Will McDonald has 2 sacks, game over for Hassan Reddick. It's over at that point. Because then the Jets are going to say, we're not doing anything to your contract. You show up, or otherwise we're rolling with what we have, and we're more than good enough.
100%. And I'm closer we get to the date, I'm always this kind of Jets fan too, but like I'm more and more confident in beating San Francisco. We got the better quarterback. As of right now, we'll probably have the better, healthier offensive line going into it. They just fired their defensive coordinator. They really haven't had a great defensive coordinator since Saleh left. I remember last year, I forgot the name of their defensive coordinator, but he's gone. Him and Shanahan didn't mesh well. Their special teams was an issue last year. The last time we saw them on TV in the Super Bowl,
Steve Wilkes was the guy who they replaced him. Yep.
But better defense, better offensive line, better quarterback. We've got the whole Saleh. We've got all the Rodgers motivation going on for us. Kind of got a lot to prove. They're coming off multiple Super Bowl appearances and kind of so the closer and closer we get to it, but more and more confident I am. Just like I said, the defense, offensive line, and the special teams. Like Brent Boyer's been here 9 years. He's lasted through 3 coaches for a reason. He might be one of the premier special teams coaches on the earth. We have guys on our team just for special teams, like we did last year. We got Irv Charles. I keep saying Stiggers is going to be a big special teams player. The guy's a physical player. Anyone with his story, I'll put on special teams and trust that they're going to find their way to the ball and they're going to get down their field. Possibly one of the best kickers. Morstead was an elite. I've never seen a season punting like that. Unfortunately, in my life, we had to punt a lot, but like it was stellar. We have Thomas Hennessy. Add that to your clip. The best long snapper. Like I don't know. The closer we get to it, I'm more and more excited. But yeah, shout out to the WCAA. Shout out to Nick Shine, and happy belated birthday, Bobby Mother effing Midnight.
I love it. Now Tom Ace wrote in, the night on the pier was an ideal first day for you and Addison.
Yeah, it was great, and like I kind of had to sneak out too because I was like with my sister and like they were sleeping.
Whoa!
I had to like tiptoe out of the house to like didn't want to wake the baby or anything. Kind of like slowly came back in. Yeah, it was a whole. Yeah, brought me back to high school. It was a fun time. Shout out to Addison. We're on scooters and we were renting scooters and bikes that they're just all around the street. So we're having a blast of the time. It was Tom
Look,
Ace.
we've all been there, man. The old sneak out to go on a date, man. I haven't had to do that since my summer camp days years ago, man. It's impressive. Past curfew, you got to sneak out. And I'm with you, man. Nice job, Nate.
Was that summer camp with Carly?
It was the same camp, yeah. It wasn't with Carly.
With Carly behind the cabin.
I did not know.
Okay.
Sorry to disappoint you, Nate.
I have lots of summer camp stories we could share off the air. Summer camp was a good time.
Nate, I look forward to this. Where'd you go to camp, by the way?
I went to cancer camp for kids with cancer and their siblings, and it was wild. There's plenty of wild stories, but it was near the Jets facility, somewhere in New Jersey. It all looks the same to me.
Addison says, my date with Nate was great. I'm glad you guys hit it off.
Yeah, the long distance relationship thing is going to be tough for us. So
yeah,
I'm not doing the coast to coast is not easy. And having like a girlfriend at home, that's going to be tough for us too. Negotiating that with her.
She's not into, I don't even know what it's called, an open relationship.
You know what?
All right.
It depends on the approach. Depends on the approach. I definitely thought of it, Eddie. Don't worry. We'll squeeze you in somewhere.
Well, Nate, excellent job out of you. I appreciate you.
Thanks for the time, as always, Jake. I'll talk to you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Nate, Nate, checking in. Let's see. Carly writes in, love the old past curfew sneak out. I know you do. I've heard the stories. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton with a 5 spot of channel memberships that were just gifted to 5 listeners who are tuned in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we will say thank you to Kyle Clifton by simply first playing this.
Money, 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 money.
Here we go. Robert Sadowski was Dewey, Roger F., Sean Cora, You guys are all officially channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate that. We're up to 21 members added. Still, the offer stands. If you gift Keith Best his channel membership, we will send you an item in the merch store. I'm excited to share that Mr. J Biz just got back to me with his address and t-shirt size. So after the show, I'll be sending him an Asmaniac swag package from the merch store. So I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Long is in the chat. He says, hey, Jake. Hey, Connor. A lot of talk about the Addison and Nate first date. Pretty incredible. Some of these comments, we're talking about shaving backs now. What are we doing here? Let's see. Anything Jet related on the table here? Played to the Damien Woody cut earlier. Once again, Damien Woody is 1,000% right with everything he said. Reminder to join the Patreon if you haven't already. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you sign up for the year, you'll save 15%. Ken O'Connell, Melvin Weiss, Zalix, and Raul Marino are 4 most recent Patreon subscribers. So I appreciate that. I asked earlier in the chat, inspired by a super chat, what your favorite Asmanisms, I guess that's what we're calling it, what that is. Jenner G wrote, tremendous. Tom Ace wrote, he stinks. Eric says, when you say, here we go. Tom Ace says, lips to God's ears. That's inspired by Joe B, by the way. I think he was the first one who said that. That always stuck with me. John LG says, the math ain't mathin'. Dan writes in, the P-word assassin. Who remembers when Carly was reading the names and said the actual thing on the air? I do. Mr. Tube was not happy with that one. Fight or Flight Podcast wrote, Charles Eugene M. Gorman has to be a top Asmanism. So it's Charles Eugene M. Gorman IV. So you're a little off there, but I see the point. Dan says, if you like America, hit the like button. I do say that. I do stand by it. Love it. What else we have here? Tom A says, I'll never forget where I was for the P-word assassin. Me neither. Gator writes in, if Reddick gets signed by early next week, can someone shave Nate's back? Nate, would you let someone shave your back if it guarantees Hassan Reddick will report to Jets camp next week? I think Nate would say yes. Nate's the real winner in all this. He gets his back shaved. That's like a loser punishment right there for someone. Carly's favorite Asmanism is ladies and gentlemen. Insert name here. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. R&R's favorite line is, Gary, you're a moron. I don't know if I've ever said, Gary, maybe I have once or twice, but I usually go back and forth with Gary without having to result in name calling. But sometimes it just gets out of control. I'm just like, you're an idiot. Stop. Zach Miller with a super chat. Asmanism should be a religion. I agree. Nate, all right. Nate says that he will wax his back live on the stream if Hassan Reddick shows up next week. I mean, I'm in. Nate says, if Hassan shows or the Jets beat San Fran, we wax it at the tailgate. I'm in. Gator writes in, can the next emoji be Nate's back hair? Gator, make the emoji now. We'll get it ready. We'll show it off so we can inspire some membership donations. Duncan says, who's released if and when Reddick's added? Maybe McGregor, like one of their UDFA D linemen. Red Shrimper says, my name is Jay from the UK, and my favorite Asmanism is when I call in and he says, we're going international. I love that one. Genergy says, Gary, you have the worst takes. That I definitely say. Gray says, Jake, should I go to the Jets-Pats game with my brother-in-law who's a Pats fan? Is it the game at MetLife, Gray, or the game in Foxborough? I would say the game at MetLife, you should definitely go. It's the Jet home opener. It's Rodgers' first game back at MetLife. It's going to be electric, and they should win by a lot. So, yeah, definitely. And you get to rub it in your brother-in-law's face. Yeti says, I again found a Keyshawn jersey at Goodwill for $2 4 months ago. It's pretty good. Sven says, Asmanism. Come on, man. You got to chill. Time to freak you down. Where's Bobby today? He's not on the line. I wanted to talk to the newly cemented 56-year-old. I'm guessing Bob had a doctor's appointment or something, or he's sleeping because the birthday stream last night, I left at 1 in the morning and it was still going. How late did it end up going to everyone who was on that last night? Nate says Bobby was up until 4 a.m. He's cooked. Makes sense. Bobby's Gooch checks in. I'm here. No, you're not. You're not Bobby. You're his Gooch. You're not here. You're not him. Last chance to get in here. Open phone lines for those who want in on the conversation. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in today. We'll be back this afternoon with another stream, probably in the 4 p.m. hour, roughly. So I'm looking forward to that. For those who missed it, for those who are tuned in late, this is what Damien Woody said about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, that it almost sounds like Damien's been watching the Jake Asman show.
It just seems like people are not giving Aaron Rodgers his due respect. I'm just speaking strictly on the field. Aaron Rodgers is 81-10 when the defense holds the opponent to 20 points or less. 81-10 throughout his whole career. That tells you everything you need to know, to me, in my opinion, about how well, all-time great in Aaron Rodgers. And when he has a defense backing him up, remember, this Jets defense is going to be the best defense that Aaron Rodgers has ever played with. Okay? They're going to hold people down week in and week out. That's been the one thing that's been missing with this Jets, has been atrocious quarterback play. The defense has always held them down. Can you imagine this Jets defense playing with a lead?
Yes.
With an all-time great at quarterback. I'm just saying, Aaron Rodgers being back and healthy with the Jets is a big effing deal.
No question about it. 81-10 is the stat for his career. And actually, that came from Darius, our researcher. You brought the stat in. Yes. He confirmed it. And then he actually sent me a note saying, if you only go back to 2016, so whatever that is, the last 9 years, that number becomes 35-2. Aaron Rodgers is 35-2 when the defense holds the opposition under 20 points. Last year, with the worst offense in history, the Jets defense allowed an average of 20.9 points per game. So, I mean, they're right there with basically no help at all.
Yeah, that's true, Greeny. No help whatsoever at all. That changes this year. At least it better. Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat has just come in from one of our great listeners, Dre. He writes, my favorite I can't say this word well, Asmanism. Asmanism. From your lips to God's ears. It's a good one. I respect it, Dre. I respect it. Francesco says, just watched all 3 episodes of One Jets Drive last night. Got me really pumped. I don't see how this team has haters. They're so cool. Their personalities are great. Yeah, you know what's really exciting about this Jets team? I agree with this. Very likable group. Just a bunch of good dudes that you want to root for. That's awesome. Bobby's Gooch writes in from the butthole to the balls. I love all Bobby's calls. Bobby Sweaty Scrotum is in the chat. I'm here, Jake. None of you are the real Bobby. I'm not falling for it. You're not Bobby. All right? I'd say show your face, but I really don't want to test that. All right? Dan says, my favorite Asmanism is the entire postgame show after the Jaguars game. Does that count? It works. You know what's so funny about the Jaguars postgame show? That's the one I get asked about the most. That was also probably the shortest postgame show I've ever done. It was like under 40 minutes because I had no computer charger and I hotspotted from my phone to my laptop. And I had an old laptop at the time. So the battery on it was trash. So I just screamed and yelled, and then the show was basically over. Ladies and gentlemen, I was just sent a Nate emoji here. That I am going to show. All right. I am going to show. I think we owe it to the audience to be as transparent as possible. Nate, you're going to have to tell me your thoughts on this one because it's you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nate Edgemo could potentially be this. What did Gator Google for this? Hairiest man ever, and then just put Nate's head on it? I'll tell you what. 10 members right now, and I'll add it to the rotation for at least the next couple of days. I'll replace it with one of our older ones because we're not going to have enough to add a totally new one, but we could get 10 more, and I could replace an old one. So 10 channel members. And the Nate Edgemo will go into effect for at least today and tomorrow. Maybe the whole weekend. Why not? Let's see. Nate wrote, thank you, Gator. So Nate's on board. I knew he would be. I mean, Nate knows it's all good fun. It's hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Thomas, who's up next. Hello, Thomas.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing today?
Hey, Thomas.
Two things. One quick story. You might like this. So the other day when I called and I revealed that when I was a little kid, like 30 years ago, I cheered for multiple teams in addition to the Jets. And then I got a little hate in the chat, so I had to call back and explain. It was funny. After I got off the phone the second time, I got a text from my mom. She's like, oh, you called in the Jake Asman show? I'm like, what? She doesn't watch you. She doesn't even watch football. She's like, yeah, I was watching the show. I'm like, stop playing. She said, oh, my cousin texted her. Said, oh, yeah, I saw him on the Jake Asman show. And I actually have a lot of cousins who are Jets fans, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone's watching right now. So what's up if anybody's watching? Anyway, the reason
shout out to the Thomas fan, baby. We love him.
The reason I called, just going back to Aaron Rodgers and how he's so hated. Now, I used to not like Aaron Rodgers, but the reason was because he was the Packers quarterback. When he came to the Jets, I was all in on him. But it seems like it's just trendy. Like the COVID, they talk about politics. He's not really a political guy. I've looked into his politics, and he's kind of just a live or let live type of guy. He's not a right winger. He's not a left winger. I knew a guy who thought he was like a hardcore right winger. Like, no, he's not political. I've looked into it, and he's just a cool guy. But it was about the vaccine, really just about the vaccine, and now that's irrelevant. But it seems like at this point it's just trendy. It's just a cool thing to do. They don't even know. If you ask them, why do you hate Aaron Rodgers? They might not even be able to tell you. But just seeing these clips of him with the other players on the Jets, on the other teams, how much respect he gets, just seems like such a cool guy. And I think he's still got it, and he's going to shut him up this year.
Thomas, from your lips to God's ears, my man. I do think if Aaron's healthy, he's having a big season. I do. I just think people are, to quote Damien Woody, not giving him his respect. He doesn't need to throw 50 touchdowns. He doesn't. He could throw 30 and have less than 10 interceptions, and this team can go 12-5 or 13-4. Like, that's the talent. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people have been wondering, hey, where is Mike D's nuts? Where has he been? And I think we might have the answer. This was just sent to me by a listener on Twitter. I want to pull up the story here so you guys can see. Alabama man is charged with illegally owning a pet attack squirrel that he called D's nuts and fed on meth. So many of you are wondering, where is D's nuts? I think until we verify if this is our D's nuts, we might have the answer. Now, as of now, we still don't know.
D's nuts.
We don't know.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
Leanie, I'm not sure. Is it?
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
These are the questions we have. You know what's funny? Multiple people tagged me in this story, which is hilarious. Shout out to the Asmaniacs. At Rumor Theory. Tagging me in there. All right, last chance to get in. If you want your voice heard, we're going to end the show shortly. Open phone lines. There's 0 wait time if you call in right now. Dano says, Jake, did you get Brees in your draft? I did, baby. I did. 3rd overall. Now, will I get Brees in the circa Asmaniac draft next week? I have the 3rd pick. I don't know. Bunch of Jet fans in there. It might go before them. Dano had a follow-up. Where should Brees go in the Asmaniac OG draft tonight? If anyone took Brees Hall first, I wouldn't think you're crazy. I wouldn't. I don't know if he's going to go first in that draft, though. He might. I mean, it's a bunch of Jet fans. Just think about it. When was the last time the Jets had 2 players for fantasy football purposes that you're drafting in the top 10? Like Garrett Wilson's a top 10 fantasy pick in a lot of people's leagues. Brees is a top 3 pick in a lot of people's leagues. Like, just think about that for a second. It has been so long since they have had that level of players. I have 2 of them that are going that high in fantasy. Mike D's Nuts goes, I'm still here, LOL. Just been busy, but that's hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, we can confirm it is not Mike D's Nuts who was arrested in Alabama for having an attack squirrel that he was feeding meth.
D's nuts.
Peter Castro writes in, Jake, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. We're winning no matter what. Sign me up. Sign me up. Let's see what we got here. Super chat from Dr. V-Man. Hey, Dr. V-Man. Favorite one is when you hang up on Gorman and say, thank you for the time. We love Charles Gorman. One of our great callers. Mr. J-Biz says the best moment on the show is when Neil and Lowski were screaming back and forth. That was an all-time one. We reached our breaking point as Jet fans. Purple Bump Mike says, what is the origin of D's Nuts? You'd have to ask Mike that. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, Hassan Reddick is watching the show, and he writes in, start warming up that wax, Nate. Wow. Hassan, let's go, man. Show up to camp next week. Let's go. Francesco says, Garrett, 1,500 plus yards is plus 600. I think I'm taking that. I would say that would make a lot of sense. Like, there's value there, I think. 1,500 is a lot. The only thing that could derail that, Francesco, obviously besides injuries, but if they do add Devontae Adams midway through the season, which is possible, would that – Garrett would still feast, but would that diminish some of his production? Like, would he have 1,300 yards instead of over 15? Right? I don't know. I think if you want a good bet, Aaron Rodgers to win comeback player of the year right now is plus 175. If the Jets are good, I think he wins that award. I think the odds will significantly drop. You're getting plus money. I think that is a really good bet. I think Jets over the win total is good too, but the problem is that's now negatively juiced. It's minus like 160 for the Jets to win more than 9.5 games. I got it when it was like plus something, which I feel great about, but I did that months ago. Right now, if you're looking for value Jets bets, I would say plus 175. Aaron, comeback player of the year is a good bet. Nate says Garrett 1,400 yards is plus 700 on FanDuel. Yeah, I mean, you gotta. The key is you got to look around at different sports books. Main event says Breece Hall 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Book it. Book it. I'm booking it, baby. Tom Ace writes in Garrett plus 28 touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Ace is officially on 28 touchdown island with this guy.
He's gonna die.
Hello, Dre.
Jets, Jets. I need to just tell everybody that I took today off. Today was gonna be a track day. I'm going to Saratoga, see if I can find Scott. I'm gonna go where the horses are racing. I'm gonna bet me some horses. Not that I know anything about that. I'm trying to use I've got newbie luck with that, and I did really well 2 years ago when I went down there with. I'm sorry, no. Oh God, it was 5 years ago before COVID and everything like that. But had a blast. So I'm gonna see if I can win me some money. That I'm gonna turn around and put in Circa and put on the apps that we use to do sports betting, and I'm gonna get me the Jets Super Bowl odds. That way, when the Jets go to the Super Bowl, that's how I can afford to buy the ticket, because I have no other way of getting to the. I'm gonna have to sneak into the Super Bowl if I want to go and watch them.
Trey, I love it. Whatever you got to do, man. Whatever you got to do.
Yep. But I'm telling you, there's room on 28 Touchdown Island. I've got beachfront property.
It's growing.
Yep. But I'm telling you, Breece, I'm so glad you got Breece. I'm telling you right now, the Asmaniac OG draft, they're already hip to me. I don't even know where I'm going to be picking, but unless I'm picking one or two, that's the only way I'm either going to get Breece or Garrett, because Bonesy's upset with me from last year.
What you guys don't have the draft order? The draft's tonight. You guys don't have your draft order?
I'm
yet?
Sure we do. I have to go and look and see where I'm.
That's funny.
I was I'm piecing everything together. Work has been crazy. That's why I'm glad to hop on and I'll put a comment. I'll just super about my one comment. But all the shows this week I've been watching on slight delay. And today I'm off because I took off. I was okay, last weekend of the summer, I need to go and do something. I hadn't been at the track all year. And I'm kind of, no, Scott did not recruit me.
I didn't even mean to put that one up, but I'm glad you saw that one.
That's funny. But no, I'm gonna go. I was gonna pop in there because I know I know the restaurant. I know where it is. I was gonna pop in there and be like, hey, where's Scott at?
Hey,
go up to him.
Well,
and shout out to Nick and shout out to Mr. Tom Ace. Tom is awesome. I forgot. I didn't get a chance to wish Bobby a happy birthday, and I'm kind of upset about that. So I need to reach out to Bobby and tell him happy birthday. Oh, I love somebody just posted in the Discord. When is the draft? And I'm I know it's tonight. I got to make sure my sign-in is good. So make sure I can still log in. And I gotta pay Mr. Nick my fee. But I wish to be all set.
Well, Dre, get ready, man, because we're 10 days away from the start of a magical ride.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna find my way. Right now, as it stands, I don't have a way of showing up to the watch party, but I have to be there. I could go up here, but it won't be the same. And I feel like it's my responsibility to show up at the watch party because all the energy has to be right, and we have to be locked in. And I feel like all of us, me, you, Bonesy, got to sit side by side, and we know what we're doing. I know you're there. I acknowledge your existence, but we are focused.
We're
You
locked
need
in.
this to happen.
It's gonna be nuts, man. I'm telling everyone to get there early, say your hellos, get your drinks and your food in you, and lock in, baby. Jet football, 8:15.
It's gonna be awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna go and finish getting ready so I can head out to the track. I'll give you an update. And you doing the show tonight, this afternoon?
I will be going live probably around 4. Yep.
All right. If I find Scott by then, I'll call in.
Please do.
Have a good one.
Dre, check it in. Love it. Shout out to Dre, one of the best. Nick Shine with a super chat. He says, thank you to everyone that helped make Bobby's night so special. I still can't believe Webster called in. Aaron Rodgers called in. Wild stream on the Nick Shine Proud NYJ channel last night for Bobby. I forget who asked Bobby, where's his birthday rank? And he said it was his best birthday ever. So that is awesome. Hit the like button on your way out of here. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. I talk Jets every single day, 365 days a year, pretty much. We love this team. We love the community. Soon enough, we're going to love actually watching this team because they're going to be winning a lot of games. I'm back in a little bit. In honor of Bobby's birthday, though, I want to play you guys something to end the show. So Gator put together a video to celebrate the great Bobby Midnight. So without further ado, I say, have a good one, everybody. Enjoy your football Friday. I'll talk to you in just a bit. And Bobby Midnight for life.
Hey, Bobby. It's Gator. Hey, look, we may not always see eye to eye. You may not love everything I do, but, buddy, I love you, man. This is for you. Happy Bobby Day to you. Happy Bobby Day to you. Happy Bobby Day. Happy Bobby Day. Happy Bobby Day to you. And many more. Whoa.
Happy birthday to Bobby Midnight, baby. A man unlike any other. A man who is leading us to glory day in and day out. We love you, Bob.
I had to call in Bobby to wish you an early happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Bobby Midnight, Rat Diddy here. Have an amazing birthday, buddy. We all love you. Stay safe and enjoy another 50. We love you, brother.
Happy birthday, Bobby. I'm glad you don't want my butt on a stick anymore. Hope you have a great day. Happy birthday, Bobby.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Bobby.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bobby.
Happy birthday, dear SDS dinosaur watching blue pill popping old far.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you, okay?
How do you feel about the birthday?
I would like to greet you a happy birthday and I wish you the best of everything.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. That's all I'm going to say.
Whoa.
Bobby, I'm about to turn my freaky up for you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Bobby. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Bobby Midnight.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Love you, buddy.
Happy birthday, Bobby Midnight.
Hi, Bobby, my friend. It's Leanie, and I just wanted to wish you a happy, happy birthday. And I hope your 56th year is filled with joy, happiness, and health.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Bobby, say hello. Come on, come on.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Bobby. Happy birthday, dear Bobby. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Love you, Bobby. Happy birthday.
Have a happy birthday, Bobby. We wish you the best. We love you and hope you're feeling well.
Yeah.
And many more.
Bobby, happy birthday from me and my buddy Luke. He wants to say hello. He loves you so much. Happy birthday. And now to hit a bowl just for you. Happy birthday, buddy.
Hey, Bobby. Johnny and I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday from Jets.
Worldwide, wide.
Happy birthday to you.
And remember, Bobby, you're always a star in our panel.
Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday, bro.
Grandma, auntie, uncle, nephew, cousin. Ah! What? It's my present.
Hey, yo, Babo. Happy birthday. I'm hoping that you have the best day ever. And you know, everybody in this community, including myself, we love you.
It is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bobby! From Illinois, Bobby. Hope you have a great day today, buddy. Future's bright for your channel. Hope you got some shades.
Hey, Bobby, it's your friend from north of the border. Just wanted to wish you a very, very happy birthday. Hope you have an awesome day today.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Just ball out, do what you do, and you know, have the most best awesome day ever. Straight to you from your favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, VR. Peace.
We are here today to celebrate one more trip around the globe for our favorite globe, Mr. Bobby Midnight.
Bobby! Happy birthday. This is your co-host, more importantly, your friend Addison. I'm so happy that not only do I know you, but I get to celebrate this day with you, and we are going to celebrate many more. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, you sexy dog, you.
What can we say about Bobby? He's the man, he's the myth. He's the reason your wife gets moist at night.
Don't forget, this is the only day of the year where you don't have to calm your freaky down. So please, turn it all the way up today, Bobby.
Everybody knows Bobby does a lot of charity work. After he wears out his U-neck shirts, he donates them to homeless kids so they can wring the grease out of them to cook their pancakes in the morning.
We love you. I love you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Bobby's the best man I know. He once joined the Special Olympics so that the other people could win easier.
Hey, Bobby, this is Mark Ferrara wishing you a very happy birthday. Have a great day, my man. Enjoy it. You deserve it. We love you so much, and we're so happy to have you a part of the Jets community.
Happy birthday to you.
And in honor of you, Bobby, I'm going to go fly a kite and play with my trains.
Happy birthday, Bobby.
Bobby is nothing if not fair. I once seen him pay a kid before he stole his ice cream cone. You don't get that from anybody else.
Let's go Jets. Happy birthday, Bobby.
Get your freak on all day, every day.
Happy birthday. It's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Bobby. Have a great day. We love you.
Have the best birthday today, Bobby. All the best to you.
Bobby, happy birthday. I wish you many more, and I love you to death. Don't ever stop.
Happy birthday, bro. Mad love. Peace.
Hello, Bobby. It's me, Charles. Want to wish you a happy, healthy, and safe birthday. Wish you many more years of good health and joy and happiness. Also, I have a little message for you. Calm your freaky down, boy. No, I'm just kidding. Just learn to balance your freakiness with your gentleness. Like me. Peace out.
Bobby, my man, quick message from Down Under. Happy birthday, my friend. I hope you have an incredible day. You get looked after, get lots of presents, get lots of good messages. Cannot wait to see you in a couple of weeks when myself and Mrs. Craig grab our car and do our road trip to Vermont. So happy birthday again, mate. Look after yourself. Can't wait to see you soon. Take care.
Hey Bobby, happy birthday all the way from Australia. We hope you have the best day. Thank you for bringing this amazing group of people all together, known as the Bobby Bunch. Never change because we all think you're amazing. We love you and hope you have the best day. Mwah!
You are one of the all-time greats, and I hope you enjoy the heck out of your birthday. We all love you.
Here's the story of a man named Bobby who will elevate his leg after the show. Sometimes Jake or Gator, they might join him.
But my friend Addison, he's always there.
Here's the story of a man named Bobby. He's the host of my favorite YouTube shows. My boss Craig and Nick, they make me happy. But Bobby is my only love.
And then one day when the show got so amazing, like a Zoom meeting with drunks and drugged out whores, somehow this group would somehow form a family. And that's the way we all became the Bobby Bunch. The Bobby Bunch.